And welcome to the 15th installment of the Jonesin on a Whim podcast. 15, we figured we'd get into the overhype of Tim Tebow as well. He's number 15.
Of course.
So I didn't give you a chance to make the connection. But
Nope, no chance.
But that's where we're going with that.
He's last in our hearts.
LBJ. And as we always do, well, I guess it's Jones on a Whim. The three of us are here, all three. We have the Facebook page, which if you're listening, you've liked. Also have the YouTube page. Business cards coming soon. Theme song coming soon. Celebrity interviews coming soon. We're picking up steam, even though we're not picking up listeners.
Did DiCaprio call you back yet?
Oh, we got that in the
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we always start with the mistakes from the corrections from the prior week, and I'll roll into that. My math was off, or maybe my knowledge of games in an NFL season. Yeah. When I said Vic would play in 12 games and miss 6 games, 5.5 to 6. But in my defense, I did have them making the playoffs, so
okay.
That could still work out.
Didn't the owners try to push for an 18-game season?
They did. Goodell is.
Yeah.
To lessen the preseason schedule. And I said London Fletcher made 2 Pro Bowls. He's in fact made 3.
Yeah.
This last one was as an alternate after Brian Urlacher's injury in the final game of the regular season. And then third and last, we were talking about the fried tasty treats that I love from New Orleans, and I couldn't remember the brand. It's Elmer's, and it's like a Cheeto. It's
Elmer's, the glue?
Yes. They're wonderful. I think it's Elmer's. Maybe I'm wrong again.
Cheeto-esque, yeah.
Right. So that's it. Just 3. Getting them down. Keeping them down. And we go on into the 51-second segment, as we do every week. And if this is your first time, welcome. And the story behind that is I call New Orleans, where I'm from, the 51st state, as it's unlike any other place in the state of Louisiana. So it's its own state. So 51-second segment, here we go. A rabid beaver that attacked a Boy Scout leader swimming in the Delaware River was killed after scouts and the troop pelted it with rocks.
Stoned to death.
That's impressive. The Poughkeepsie Journal reports that 51-year-old Norman of Pine Plains. I don't know his last name is. Pine Plains, New York, was swimming in eastern Pennsylvania on August 2nd when a beaver swam through his legs and bit him in the chest.
Ooh.
I thought it was a giant carp fish, he said. After initially throwing the animal from his body, it returned to continue the attack, biting Norman in the leg, buttocks, arm, hand, and torso.
Dang.
Before he managed to grab it and hold its jaw closed. Trying to picture this, I do hate to admit it's hilarious, but it does get better. Right.
It gets better?
Yeah. He threw the beaver ashore while scouts helped him out of the water. After being momentarily stunned, the beaver began attacking a pool noodle. A pool noodle?
The little foam thing?
Yeah, I guess so. At that point, the scout stepped in and pelting the animal with rocks until it subsequently died.
Wow, they really are prepared.
They stoned it. I mean, is there a merit badge for stoning? Boy Scouts? That's impressive.
They should get one. Yes.
Nick Hedges, 16, obviously a scout, I guess, if they could be that old. He says, we started throwing rocks at it. We could see it was still dangerous. No shit. A doctor confirmed the beaver had rabies a day after the attack. No shit. Dutchess County health officials say a rabid beaver attack is unusual. Another no shit.
Yeah, so, I think the treatment for rabies for humans is a series of 6 shots to the abdomen with a very long needle.
Yes.
It is unpleasant, but it's necessary because it can kill you.
Yes.
Right, and you might be attacking pool noodles.
Yeah.
I hate running from raccoons.
So, on to more things entertaining to us. This week's entertainment news. And then this pertains, a lot of people that we know now, I think even Art, finally, well, you don't yet, but have the iPhone.
I do.
No, not me.
And reports have come out stating that the latest iPhone is already in the works, which I think they have like 8 of them stashed. But
Damn it.
yeah, but this is according to Maka Takahara, a Japanese blog, which boasts of an excellent reputation when it comes to predicting the launch dates of Apple devices.
Yeah.
According to the blog, reliable sources have confirmed that the iPhone 5 is already in production in China. Speculations have been going the rounds that this new generation iPhone will be launched for an autumn release by September, 2 months after the start of production. Well, those little slanties are getting the job done. And although the giant tech company has not confirmed the rumors yet, many speculations have come out stating that the newest iPhone version will have an aluminum back panel with a partial glass cover, kind of what it has now, I think, with the partial glass we have on the back of ours.
Yeah.
There are also claims that the next generation iPhone will have a larger screen compared to the older 4S, 4-inch Retina display, and an aspect ratio of 16:9. In fact, just recently, an alleged photo of the new iPhone has been leaked over the internet, which confirms its longer screen in the pictures, or if the pictures are indeed real. So I'm confused. So Steve Jobs, right? He's the mastermind behind this normally, right?
Yeah.
But it's made in China.
Well, okay. Yeah, he's the mastermind behind the design.
Right, okay.
What I've heard about him is, he would just, walk into the head tech's office and, say, make it look like this.
Right.
And they'd go do it. So
okay.
I'm wondering if he's going to be like Tupac now, that, even though he's dead, that he's maybe 8 or 9 more, iPhones are going to come out,
Yeah. No,
after the fact.
Oh, no. He's going to do a concert at Coachella?
Right. As a hologram?
Yeah.
So, no, I probably should know that, but I just didn't realize. If he's the one designing it, why don't we make it here? We're struggling for jobs.
Oh, it saves money. I mean,
right.
you got
there
cheap ass labor over there. That's
the
oldest trick in the book business wise.
Right. Okay. So that's the iPhone 5. And speaking of sequels or newer versions, in case you were reeling from disbelief, the 1983 holiday classic, A Christmas Story, has in fact been made into a sequel. Wow. It's going straight to DVD, no shock, and Blu-ray on the 30th of October. And it's available just before they're making a Broadway musical based on this, the original story with Ralphie and all the Christmas time woes. In this version, in the sequel, Ralphie's a teenager, no longer yearning for the Red Ryder BB gun, but now a 1938 Hupmobile Skyline convertible. I wonder when this is set. If it's the 1938
You're going to say he
convertible.
graduated to like poontang.
Right. Some hot bitch. No, but
more like Superbad than Christmas Story.
Right. And like the original, the sequel's based on the writing of the late Gene Shepard. And the fun fact, Shepard was actually the narrator in the original.
Oh, really? Huh.
And the father in this one is the guy from City Slickers, Daniel Stern, who was a narrator on Wonder Years. So,
of course.
So straight to DVD, not really a shock. But the cult following should provide for pretty good DVD sales, I would think, right?
Olsen Twins made like $160 million off straight to video.
Right. So this is just a fun thing. I know we all enjoy the movie. TBS shoves it down our third TNT Christmas time, but we take it,
Yeah.
We get more to shove.
It's worth a viewing.
Yeah.
But I didn't say fudge. I said the word. The F word. Speaking of which.
Right. Speaking of nice segue. Speaking of cult followings and fudge words, the F-bomb finally makes it into the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Fucking A.
It's about fucking time.
F-ing.
And all the company picks 100 editions each year. 100 new words.
100?
Yeah. 100 editions for the 114-year-old dictionary's annual update. 100 new words. That's crazy. And also making this year's cut, the Oprah-inspired, for the brown people, aha moment. Stephen King's popularized earworm. I don't know.
Earworm. No, you got me there.
It's what he defines as a truly torturous tune you can't get out of your head. So it's Stephen King. He did a lot of stuff for the Entertainment Weekly. Also added a new definition for underwater, which describes a heartbreaking realization that you owe more on your mortgage than your property is worth.
That's appropriate.
Wow. And another new and depressing recession edition is an extra definition for toxic, as it relates to an asset that has lost so much value it cannot be sold in the market. Toxic. And a further peek at the top 25. We've got craft beer, e-reader, game changer, which was Tebow was described as allegedly in the opening song. A new definition for gassed, which is slang for drained of energy, which is the only definition I know. Gastropub, geocaching. That's a computer term, I think.
No, it's actually
geocaching.
Well, it's like you do it with other people. You have a GPS, and people post like coordinates online, and you go find something, and they leave like little prizes for you to find.
Wow.
And they can be anywhere, like the mouth of a volcano or something like that.
Jeez, interesting. There you go. Stefan bringing the knowledge shop.
There you go.
And shovel ready is and tipping point, which I thought tipping point. I guess they're using multiple words. That's not just
that's not a word. That's a phrase.
Right.
Yeah. So okay.
That's this aha moment and you know, stuff like that. But 100 a year. How thick? I mean, how thick is this book?
Do they like?
Maybe they
disqualify some words. They say these have fallen out of use, and
I don't know. I mean, we love to do the math on Jonesin, so how would it?
I guess 100 words only makes your dictionary like a page longer, so it may not.
Right.
Maybe 4 or 5.
Assuming the dictionary is.
Yeah. I'm talking.
No. I mean,
hardbound.
There's logic there.
Yeah.
And that, from entertainment to full-on hilarity, we move on to our Twitter segment, which is dominated by the Sheik. And he was at it again. He's again picking up his game. I'll start with a couple. As always, he's hating on the Ultimate Warrior. Hope the Ultimate Warrior has the Medicare, so when I see him, I beat the F out of him. He gets fixed up for free. It's for free. He wants to beat his ass, but it doesn't have the ramifications of paying for it.
Yeah, healthcare. Yeah.
Right. And then speaking of healthcare, someone who's delusional about it, Mitt Romney Ponzi. That's it.
That's all.
Like a scheme or a Ponzi scheme.
I don't know. I thought,
This is another good one, and he asked us not to insult him. I'm hungry today, but not for the effing shish kebab. What do I eat? Don't insult me, Bubba. So he wants you to give him some recommendations, but don't. Don't be too over Iranian, maybe.
He's talked about the shish kebab before.
He has. And it's like you said, it's not racist because he's Iranian.
He's saying it. Yeah.
Right. And then he's another tweet. Olympic over now. What happened? And that rolls me into some other tweets. The Sheik asks, we answer. It's the NFL, of course. The NFL happens. Mm-hmm. So Adam Schefter reported on we're in Houston, so the Texans tweet. Texans re-signed offensive tackle Dwayne Brown to a 6-year, $53.4 million extension. He's just due to have those trainers fail pretty quickly. And also, which is a no shit for us, it happened. We talked about the rat face Shanahan last week. Mike Shanahan makes life challenging for fantasy football owners always. It plans to feature running backs Alfred Morris, Tristan Davis, Evan Royster versus Bears. So all of them. Nothing changed in the rat face.
None of whom will get more than 7 carries.
Right, exactly. Yes. Rat face break. Geek Tyrant text, the Avengers 2 to be released in 2015, and I think it's March or May.
I don't know.
I think. But 2015, so we know now. We're looking forward to it.
Clear the calendar.
We love the first one. And
clear it for the whole summer.
Yes. Chris D'Elia, who I've mentioned in the past, he always has some funny one-liners. An Italian has never worn a hat. That's it. Just never worn a hat. and I'm trying to think back, and
I think Fredo had one on.
Well,
Godfather.
Stallone had one
in Rocky.
Yeah.
Ruined.
And even in Expendables, 1 and 2. I can't wait for the Deuce. I think they came out this weekend. But
often I can't wait for the Deuce.
Yes. Oh God. I'll always welcome a Deuce. A nice, clean, soft stool. The U.S. Soccer tweeted, "We finally beat Mexico. We beat 1-0 win versus Mexico at Azteca. Has been labeled an instant classic and will air on ESPN Classic that night at 7 p.m. Eastern. 75 years it took us to get that.
Wow. I'm amazed they played that game that soon after the Olympics.
But that's under 23. So
it wasn't the same team?
Right.
Because I thought the Olympics had all these rules about,
you can only have 3. You can only have 3.
Okay, so I assumed it would be a similar looking team.
No, really. Okay. So I'm taking credit for this, goddamn. We beat their actual starting
all right.
roster. We didn't even qualify, so we were rested. And so speaking of no good Mexicans, The Jose Canseco tweeted. Well, that's what the sheet calls him. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you were just quoting someone.
Right. Jose Canseco tweeted, "Wow, Melky Cabrera suspended for testosterone. What if he has prescription like me?" Still, and not even a question mark at the end. And of course, the Sheik has his opinion in response to Canseco. To the Jose Canseco, go eat dog shit, please. Please. Like, cordial about it. Please go eat it.
And have a nice day.
Right. Well, he always, that's his other one, other than please. And then he goes on to tweet, "The Melky or the Milky, whatever you want to effing call him, now shop at the Walmart forever." The Walmart. But according to MasterChef, they have the best beef on the planet. He goes on further to talk about the Melky Cabrera. The Melky Cabrera, now the Milky, medicine no good, piece of shit. Interesting. And more. And further on, Melky Cabrera do not know how to handle the party or anything. He raisin balls now. On the raisin ball side, and those are so nice.
Yep.
And he's not done. He's not done with the Melky. The Melky Cabrera, the dog shit today. He's not worth the old country way. He's not worth anal. Not even worth anal. That's wow.
Man.
He
knows how to put somebody down.
Yeah, he really does. Not even worth anal. Wow.
Yeah.
And then Hulk Hogan birthday. I hope he get raped by dead dog. Dead dog rape.
He's
not 6 dogs this time. Just a dead one.
Well, one dead one would probably be more impressive than 6 live.
It would. On the dog's account.
Yes.
Really.
Oh, totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then finally, from me, who the dog shit today? That's it. Just a question. Throw it out to us. Who the dog shit today? And for me, it's always the Mitt Romney. But some newer ones from Stefan.
Yeah, he's been responding a lot to other people tweeting on him.
Bubba?
So I'll skip those.
With the Bubbas?
But he had one that's, I go have cold beer now.
Awesome.
Anybody don't want to talk to me, then go fuck yourself. Have a good day.
Right? Fuck yourself, but enjoy it. Have a good day.
Have a good
nice.
day.
I like that.
Yeah. And he's... I hadn't been paying attention to NHL news, but he's on Gary Bettman's case, the NHL commissioner. Gary Bettman have raisin balls forever. Gary Bettman worse than Jose Canseco, which is apparently pretty bad.
Wow, that's bad.
Wow, for him, yes. Good Lord. I don't think that was worse. Maybe Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Gary Bettman in the ass if he fuck up the hockey. So he's a hockey fan.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
He's a sports enthusiast. That's why we like him.
Yeah, he's on the case.
Yes. So, is that okay? Yeah. I captured a lot of this week's, but that was a nice little. The Sheik always does us some good. Little Sunday chuckle, if you will.
Indeed.
So this week I'm kind of combining the Stump Stefan and Whim hit segments, but I do have a question for you that we can all weigh in on at the end. But it's along the lines of what I did last week, horse or sex.
Horse.
I've got horse
or sex.
I've got porn star, pony, or politician.
Porn star, pony, or politician.
And just like last week, I will ask each of you one, and then but no looking them up because there's no sex acts.
It's okay. I was if you do another sex act, I'm closing my laptop.
That was painful.
I'm not looking at it.
I started to fear for humanity.
Do Bob Gold. No, that was a good.
No. It's like, what the hell is wrong with people? Why do you do that to someone?
So this will be fun. I think I have 20. Yeah, 20 of them. So we'll run through them. We'll start with, since it's Stump Stefan, we'll start with you.
All right.
Brian Sherwood. Porn, pony, politician. What
Brian, is it spelled like Sherwood Forest? Like
it's spelled as it sounds. Yeah. No, sure, not share. Not Robin Hood. Sure. S-U-R-E.
Oh, Brian Sure. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That changes things.
Right. Sherwood.
Brian Sherwood.
Sure, you'll get it right. Wood.
I'll go with porn star.
That is correct. And art. Wendy Dahl. Wendy, as in the hamburger company, the redhead. Yeah. Doll, as in the chick in the picture. I don't know.
As in Barbie doll.
Wendy, yes, Barbie doll. Right. Porn star, pony, politician. It's a pony. All right.
Wendy doll.
Olympia Snow, with an E at the end of Snow.
Olympia Snow.
Pony, politician, porn star.
Let's go with politician.
That is correct. 2 for 2. Ding. Okay. Art. Joaquin Memphis, not Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Memphis, Tennessee. Pony, politician, porn.
politician.
0 for 2. It's a pony.
All right.
You keep getting the ponies, man.
Yeah.
That was the toughest one. 'Cause,
Yeah.
All right, number 5.
Because if it's a porn star, I'm going to know it. That's what's
Right.
unfortunate.
Barbara Summer. Not spring, not winter. Barbara Summer.
Barbara Summer.
Porn, pony, politician. What you got?
Porn star.
That is correct. 3 for 3. Good
right.
job. Okay. All right, number 6. Dixie Graves. As in Winn-Dixie or Dixie beer. Graves as in you're dead. You're buried.
Mass graves.
Thanks.
Dixie Graves. Porn, politician,
Or pony.
or pony.
I'm going to go with politician again.
You got one. Ding.
All right.
Hey, one.
Dixie
All right.
Graves.
All right, this is a good one. Oh, Stefan, Dick Sweat. Dick Sweat. SWETT. Dick Sweat.
Dick Sweat.
Sweat. 2 T's. Really sweaty.
I'm going to say that's a politician.
That is right. 4 for 4.
That's horrible.
Well, they get better.
Vote for Dick Sweat.
Number 8, Stormy Kiss. As in, boom, that's a fucking great kiss. Stormy, even.
Stormy.
I'm going to go with pony.
Finally, the pony works.
Yes.
Pony it is.
Pony.
All right. Golden Shower.
Oh, come on.
Not to be mistaken with doo-wop gold.
Right. Because, yeah.
See, because, God.
Golden Shower.
Golden shower. I'm going to go with pony.
It's a porn star.
Damn it. I thought that was too obvious.
And number 10, Linda Lovelace.
Well, come on.
All right, porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know. All right. Amber Waves.
Amber Waves.
Like almost a rustic wave, maybe. I don't know. Like
Por-
an amber
porn star.
colored- It is, yes. It's a porn star. Sierra Sunset. Porn, pony, politician. Sierra Sunset.
That should be a porn star, but if it is, I don't know who that is. So let's go with porn star.
It's pony.
Oh, the pony gets you again.
Harry Reams.
Oh, well.
He does?
Harry Reams.
Harry
The anal region.
Reams.
No, not even worth the old country way.
Politician.
It's a porn star.
Yeah.
Cherry Pop.
Oh, I don't know.
Cherry Pop. Certainly not a politician.
Can't be.
All right. Stop bothering me. Corey.
It's not for. Let's go porn star.
Pony.
Ugh.
This one I think you'll know. Harry Balls. B-A-A-L-S.
Oh,
Harry Balls.
B-A-A-L-S?
Yeah, Balls.
And it's Harry, like,
yeah, like,
Harry Houdini.
like my cousin Harry.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Harry Balls.
B-A-A-L-S. Getting creative.
Politician.
It is. You don't remember he was like Kentucky or he was in the
Was he?
news recently. Yeah.
It didn't ring a bell, but yeah.
Belladonna.
Oh, come on now.
I don't know.
Huh?
Well, if it's not that one, then it's not.
Belladonna.
But otherwise, that's porn star.
It's a pony.
Well, that's
Man,
not
you
fair.
keep getting the ponies.
Allison Fast. She's quick in bed.
Allison Fast.
F-A-S-T. Straightforward.
F-A-S-T. Man, that's Allison Fast. Porn star.
It's a pony. Diana Rose.
Porn star.
Another pony.
Well,
Virginia Fox. 2 X's.
Oh, with 2 X's.
2 X's.
Oh, I gotta go porn star.
It's a politician.
Oh,
Pierre Woodman. Final, number 20.
Pierre Woodman, porn star.
It's a porn star.
All right.
All right, and then the question.
I guess if it had 3 X's, it would have been a porn star.
Right. That threw you off a little bit.
How dare you?
The question that I really had, because I value highly your opinion, Major League Baseball,
Oh, thank you.
and the
Like, all right. Yeah.
the talk is, I don't think he's eligible yet. I don't know, but there's been some talk. I think he's even mentioned himself as being the Hall of Famer. Barry Bonds.
Ah,
Is he a
yes.
Hall of Famer for you? Amidst the the juicing, the whatever, for you, and Art, you weigh in as well. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, okay. Because I could approach this from, my personal opinion. Ought he to be in the Hall of Fame? Or, from the opinion of the way baseball seems to view
Right.
stars who have had scandals. And the way baseball seems to view them is it's not just a hall of, awesome players. It's a hall of character guys.
Right. I think the NFL has that same.
Yeah. And so that's a big strike against him for all the steroid stuff, and not that it was all his fault, but he was, probably the most prominent player in all that.
Right.
No pun intended. Personally, I believe he's a Hall of Famer.
I agree.
I think he was before he got into steroids.
And that's the point.
And that's what pains me the most, is if he had stayed clean, he would have ended up with this, really awesome resume for his career. And he's a no doubt Hall of Famer in that case, even if he ends up with 200 less home runs than he ended up hitting, if he doesn't break Aaron's record.
Right. And have you seen him recently? He's small again. He's back to Pirates.
Right,
weight.
Yeah. But the people who vote for Hall of Fame are mostly baseball writers. I believe it's the Baseball Writers Association of America.
Right.
Which is a bad group of
And
people to be voting for him.
those are,
holier than thou. It's like Tony
enemies.
Dungy. Yeah. It's like Tony Dungy's voting.
He was always a bitch to the media. And that was part of the reason why people piled on when the steroids thing broke, was they'd just been waiting for something to fry him on.
Right.
Yeah. So I think he belongs, but I would certainly understand if his first 5, 6, 7 years he doesn't get in. That a lot of people vote against him, kind of as a to make a point.
Right.
Because I think once you're eligible, you can be voted in for 15 years as long as you get a certain percentage of the vote. And he will. I mean, he's not going to get dropped from the ballot after the first year, but they're going to make him wait.
And I tend to agree. I don't know, because I think I wouldn't be shocked if he got in on the first ballot.
Really?
Because of those 10 years he was the best player for most of those years.
Yeah.
Because Ken Griffey wasn't in his prominence yet, I don't think, or was he? I don't know, but I would say maybe not first ballot, but I don't think it gets past third.
Really?
I really don't. Clemens will have to sweat a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it's kind of the same. Maybe not. I could see Clemens going first too.
Yeah, I mean, Clemens really was to pitching what Bonds was to hitting.
Right. Right. Exactly. And so that I kind of lumped them together. So it will be interesting. But I agree, he is a Hall of Famer simply because whatever the steroids did for him after, his resume, his performance before that, clearly was Hall of Fame worthy. Even decades, right? I mean, Pittsburgh, he had a wonderful career.
Yeah.
Just like you said, that was just that snapshot. You'd probably say this is a Hall of Fame player, even in those 10 years.
Yeah. The big question is what he did with the steroids. Is that enough of a negative?
Right. And I think he'll get the benefit of everybody was doing it during that time. A lot of people were. And that's why I love Ken Griffey so much. He's never been in those talks.
It seems to be a push, seeing some of the Hall of Fame voting for some of the other stars of that era, like Palmeiro and Sosa and McGuire. They're not getting shit for votes.
Right.
I mean, they were not players at the level.
But they
of
weren't They weren't the
There seems to be this push, among the writers to really punish those players from that era for participating in that.
And I'll speak about one of those writers in our tribute. I just remembered I wanted to mention that. But Barry Bonds, brown person, Arthur Prey, the brown person, the third. 1, 2, 3, whatever you want to number.
We have so much in common.
We go on to our state of the art segment, and this week this is something that I don't even know how it came. Oh, that's how it. Final episode of House of Pain aired last week, and
the final.
Yeah, and I did like that show, and I'm like 12. I'm a season behind, but I did like it. My unemployment days, I was watching it all day on the TBS. But made me think of Tyler Perry.
You got to be jokes there.
Then after some minimal digging, I found that there's a real feud between Spike Lee and Tyler Perry. Spike Lee versus Tyler Perry, two of the most commercially successful black filmmakers, brown for me, in the history of the art. Nice. Are Spike Lee and Tyler Perry. They're often at odds with one another. One writer compared them as Malcolm X versus Martin Luther King.
Wow.
So
stop.
So Spike, love him or hate him, Spike's a filmmaker who exemplifies artistic integrity with a healthy dash of shrewd business sense. Tyler Perry, faith and focus, unquestionably the most successful black filmmaker ever. First black man to own a studio, is a man who survived physical and verbal abuse from his father and sexual abuse from a neighbor while a child. So I ask you, Art, do you have a horse in this race, and why is there a race, or for better term, feud at all?
I don't have a horse in the race. I think it's just a case of you got two people who are in reasonably important situations as far as filmmaking and black filmmaking goes. And I can imagine, considering the way that Spike tends to handle his little spot, it's almost like he would do rebellious stuff just like, hey, it's been about 5 months since I pissed somebody off. Let me go over here and do something to see can I piss somebody off.
Next to shit here right now.
Like, let me do something weird and piss somebody off. Let's see can I shake some trees or something. And he
rattle some cages,
aggravate some people. Like, he's really big on that, whereas Tyler Perry is just trying to get black people to go watch squirrely movies that are almost the same movie over and over again. I honestly don't have a dog in the fight. But it just seems like that's what it is. So you'd imagine when they ask Spike, it's like two birds with one stone. Like, I get to piss people off because I'm going to talk bad about this guy that everybody goes and sees these movies, and you could easily kind of bash on those movies for what they are and, more importantly, for what they're not. And so I think it seems like that's all that's going on there. I don't consider it a huge deal, but it makes sense that they wouldn't like each other.
They are night and lighter night. Best day since they're both black.
What do we do?
Yeah, but they really, they're on different ends of the spectrum, and I just don't understand why they can't coincide. But I think your assessment is pretty spot on. It's just that Tyler Perry is just trying to better the race, better the view of the race through enlightened nice stories. But Spike's trying to better the race by showing us how bad it was for them. It's a different angle. It's a different approach.
Yeah.
Yes.
They both take, and I'm fine with both. I really am. And
yeah, I could see where they might be at odds, just because, and I don't know what's really going through their heads, obviously. But Perry's work is, like you said, light and not a lot of depth.
Right.
Whereas.
Well, it's not
Spike
in your face
Lee's,
then.
It's family. It's religion.
It's sneaky then.
Yeah.
Right.
Spike Lee's approach, he shines a bright light on your greatest insecurities.
Right. Right.
And I'm reminded of back in the '80s seeing Do the Right Thing with a friend of mine who was black, and we talked about it afterwards. And he said I didn't like it because it made black people look just as guilty for the problems as white people. That they have a lot of the same, racisms, and he didn't like,
accountability.
Yeah. That sort of,
right.
thing being illuminated.
And it was like,
bothered him. Like, shit, we're racist too? Oh, man.
Right.
Yes.
That sucks.
Right. And that's why I love Spike. He does hold his race to an accountability because they should be viewed the same as everyone else, and that's what he's striving for. That's what he's trying to do. And
you can't have equal treatment without.
Right. And he doesn't. Right, exactly, and he doesn't shove it down your throat. Like that movie Crash was so white. It was so. White people are the worst. Even me, I was like, this is just no. But Spike just puts that level of accountability that we all need as humans, not just a certain race. So I just wanted to talk. I didn't know that was a surprise. It wasn't a surprise to me, but that they had an actual feud, questions talk, in interviews. It kind of threw me off, but I want to do a couple. We tried to do a tribute segment, a couple quick tributes just to show us how old we are. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 30th anniversary. 30 years this movie. August 13th marked the 30th anniversary. 30 years. How old are we? 30 years.
More than 30.
Does it make you feel? Oh man, great movie. And I obviously didn't see it for a couple years after. You could. I could. When it came out, I guess I was 4.
Yeah, it was a little early to be a coming of age movie for us. Even for me.
Right.
But the Phoebe Cates scene, coming out of the pool. That's a seminal.
It's still in the spank bank,
for
right?
a lot of guys in their early 40s.
It's in the spank bank.
Yes, totally.
It still is. Yeah.
Oh,
she's married to Kevin Kline.
What?
She still looks all right. They've been married.
She still looks all right.
Yeah, she got out of acting a long time ago.
Oh, right. No, Gremlins 3 was like it. And 2 was the last. But also, it's something you can relate to, I'm sure. And a final tribute, I I didn't know this. He's annoyed me in the past, but he's done it forever. And Bob Ryan, the Boston Globe.
Oh, right.
He's retiring, and
Oh yeah.
so he did the outside the lines or with the
Sports
PTI,
report. And he does a lot of
reporters.
sports reports.
Yeah, he does.
So he wrote his final column, I guess, last week, and I wanted to acknowledge that because it's something that I've always aspired to do, and he did it for a long time at a high level, and even you know, your guy, sports guy, Will Simmons.
Yes.
I love him more than you do, but
Who said like 6 years ago he was going to quit in 18 months?
Right.
He just can't get away from it.
no. But I want to acknowledge that because it's like I said, it's something that I've always aspired to do. Not always, but
Yeah. Whether you agree with him or not on a lot of his stuff, you know, I think he's kind of a windbag at times. But
right. And I think he did some color for like Celtics games, didn't he? Or,
oh, really?
Maybe.
I don't know.
know.
Yeah, but he's accomplished career definitely.
Big time.
Yeah, worth acknowledging.
So with that, I just wanted to say that I think that wraps up this 15th installment.
Hooray!
We got a lot in, and we hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you listen again.
Podcast number Tebow in the books.
Tebow.
Yay, Tebow.
So on to what's his name? What's the
Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless?
Yeah, I definitely don't
His
agree
love
with most of
affair.
the time.
No, I don't.
He's
But I think he tries to just be.
I thought you were saying he was about to retire. I was gonna start clapping.
No,
he tries to
that's
be,
definitely tribute worthy.
controversial, contrarian, whatever you want to call
Right.
it. Yeah, he
Um,
says stupid things so that people will go, "Ugh,
Right.
I got to watch more Skip Bayless. So
exactly.
make sure he doesn't do that again."
do it. I think sometimes. Right, in exactly that fashion. Sometimes it seems, to be honest. But that does it.